Lessons with Emmy John, and today we're going to be looking at drop 2 voicing. So on Wednesday we took our time to look at 2-5-1s using upper structure voicings. So but today we're going to be looking at in-depthly on drop 2. So what are drop 2 voicings on the piano? I'm going to use key C as a case study. So C is our 1, D is our 2, E is our 3, F is our 4, G is our 5, A is our 6, B is our 7, and then finally C back to our 1. So therefore, drop 2 voicing is simply taking a triad, taking the second highest note, which is the middle note, and putting the note on your left hand. So it's like this, something like this. So that's called the drop 2 voicing. I believe it's very popular. I've talked about drop 2 voicing since last year. I just want to do a recap and bring out some new concepts and ideas from it. So basically that for those who are just following for the first time, do it to like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel right away. And then follow my new channel as Emmy John Music for other stuffs. So let's go back to what we're doing. So in the major triad chord, drop 2s can be found in 8 ways. So there are 8 ways to interpret drop 2 voicing. Now it has extended to drop 3, and then we have drop 3 and 4. But today let's focus on drop 2 voicing first. That's why my 6 months piano lesson, I took my time to break down the 8 types of drop 2, how to apply them, how to practice them, and techniques you can use over them. So let's look at the basic concept of drop 2 voicing. So on the key of C, we have C, E, G as our 1 chord. The third note becomes E, which is the middle note or the second highest note. Now, the melody is always the highest note. The melody is always the note on the pinky finger, which is the 5. So we have G as our pinky finger, which is our 5. It's always regarded as the highest note, and this is called the bass note. C is always the bass, the highest is always this. So when you hear the highest note in this chord, C octave triad, C, which is the pinky finger, becomes the highest note. This is the note that sings the melody of the song. Example, we are playing Twinkle Twinkle. So the note singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is our melody, which is our pinky finger. So we have, it's our pinky finger. So that's basically how that works. So let's go back. So drop 2 voicing as this. So on C we have this. You take it out as this. Same thing goes to the 4. Now one of the best ways I will advise you work on this to be able to master it on all keys. Practice them as major triads on all keys. Let's try it together. On the key of C, we have C, E, G. Take our E off and put E on the left hand. Move this movement chromatically to be able to master same movement on all keys. So C, drop 2 voicing. C sharp, drop 2 voicing. D, drop 2 voicing. D sharp major triad, drop 2 voicing. E, major triad, drop 2 voicing. F, major triad, drop 2 voicing. F sharp, major triad, drop 2 voicing. G, major triad, drop 2 voicing. G sharp, major triad, drop 2 voicing. A, major triad, drop 2 voicing. A sharp, major triad, drop 2 voicing. Then B major triad, drop 2 voicing. Then back to C. So this is one technique you should work on. That is one. Number 2 technique you should work on is the aspect of inversion. Pick the chord and begin to invert the chord. So if I hold down the C triad voicing, remember every chord you hold can be inverted depending on the amount of notes you are holding. So if I'm holding down a 4 chord, it means the chord can be inverted 4 times. If I'm holding down a 3 chord, it means that the chord can be inverted 3 times. Even down to 2 chord. If I'm holding down a die chord or a ditone, which is just a 2 notes, it can be inverted 2 times. So simply meaning the amount of notes you hold determines the amount of times your chord can be inverted. So let's pick the triad chord as a case study. On C, E, G, if I invert it, I'm going to have E, G, C. If I invert it again, I'm going to have G, C, E. That's the concept of inversion. So therefore, we're going to invert them in drop 2 positions, making 1, 2, then 3. So one more time. So that's basically that. Do that on all keys. on D, on D sharp, on E, on F, on F sharp, on G, on G sharp, on A, on A sharp, on B, then back to C. The moment you have been able to do this, then you've been able to master your drop 2 voices. So for more of these, follow up my 6 months piano training, for where I took my time to give out more techniques on how to do this on the major, on the minor, on the diminished, on the augmented, on the suspended, on the dominant, and on the major 6 voicing. So one technique again, we're going to work on this, is be able to use these inversions to create melody. Use the inversions to create melody. Example, I want to move from my 1 to my 4 chord. So 1, the 1 chord going to the 4. Remember, at basic triads, we have this 1, C major resolving to F major voicing. So what do? I'm going to do this. So, one more time, simple drop 2 voicing. One more time. So that's how it works. So if I'm playing my 5, which is a major of G, remember the key of G? So that is that. So this is how to think. So therefore now, I'm not just thinking of the 5 of C, I'm thinking of G now, which is a 5. Then do it as a 1 to 4. So if G is my 1, resolve it to the 4. But on the key of C, sounding like a 5 to the 1, 5 to the 1, 5 to the 1. So the basic assignment for today is to be able to take these drop 2 voicings and invert them. Invert them and use them at this exercise 1 to 4. 1 to 4 on all keys. Let's try it out. The key of C, resolve it to F. Drop 2 voicing, E on the left hand over C and G on the right hand. So 1, resolve it to 4. One more time. So it's sounding like we give you all the glory. So just we give you. So that's that. We give. So that is basically that. You see the drop 2 voicing application. We then give. Let's write on C sharp. We, same concept. We give. One more time. We then give. Still drop 2 on the key of D. We then give. Same concepts. We give. So I'm trying to touch it on all keys for those who will be asking for breakdown on all keys. So this is same thing on all keys. We give. On the key of D sharp, we, same concept, same approach, give. One more time, we give. On the key of E, we give. One more time, we give. On the key of F, we have same concept going to the 4. So it's like a 1 to the 4. On the key of F sharp, same thing, we give. So we have the 1 going to the 4. On the key of G, we have same thing, 1 going to the 4. 1 again, then going to the 4. On the key of G sharp, we have the 1 going to the 4 again. On the key of G sharp. On the key of A, we give. Once you know this technique like this, you're already good to drop 2 voices. You are good to start. Then we have A sharp, same voicing on A sharp. We give, we give. On the key of B, finally, we give, we. So it sounds like. So these are other things, other perspective of drop 2 that my 6 months piano training took time to explore and to break down well. Thank you so much for joining my lessons. Don't forget, finally on the key of C, we go back again, we give. So take your time to join up the lesson and expand your vocabulary. Remember, drop 2 voices are 8 types. Take your time to work on this and and see you on Monday. God bless you. Emmy John.